Hi everybody, I'm Ellen Gormley and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm working on this lovely lacy open work Tunisian pattern, and I just really love it so much that I wanted to teach you while I'm in the process, and I'll teach you from the beginning as well, but I'll probably keep going. So I didn't want to fasten off just to make a video out of it. I want to make it for an actual project. So I just am pinning it out on the blocking board just so we can see the lace pattern a little bit better and see the air in it. And then let's get started with the rows that we're making. So for the swatch we're making today, I'm going to set this one aside because I'm going to keep going on it, but here's our example. I'm going to start with white, and I have a K-size Tunisian hook. So I'm going to place my slip knot on my hook. Let's do 14. Let's chain 14. You need a multiple of 3 plus 2. My swatch is a chain of 38. So it's 12 groups of 3 plus 2. So we've got 14 here, and I'm going to pull up a loop in the back ridge, back bump, back bar of each stitch across. I'm planning to put the instructions below for you in the description box, and also the yarn that I'm using, right? What am I using? Oh, Knit Picks Brava yarn, worsted weight acrylic yarn, and I will put the link to that in the description below as well. So just a beautiful, lovely, icy, snowy white. So I'm pulling up a loop in the back ridge, back bar, back bump of each chain across. We should have, now you don't need any extra stitches when you're working Tunisian. So the number of stitches, chains that you put on your hook is the number of stitches. There's no like extras to add on. So if I need a multiple of 3 plus 2, then literally I need to chain a 3 plus 2. There's no extra turning chain to add on. So I have 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14. Perfect. Okay, so the first row, we are just doing a traditional pull up a loop foundation row and a yarn over pull through 1, yarn over pull through 2, all the way across. So continuing with the yarn over and pull through 2 all the way across for the foundation row. Then of course at the end of a swatch, it's smart to do a symmetrical bind off, which is a Tunisian simple stitch bind off as well, so it matches that beginning foundation row. Okay, so the first actual row, the first design row, we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, because we're making tall stitches, we're making lace. Now we're going to Tunisian simple stitch 3 together, all at the same time. So I'm picking up the vertical bar and each of the next 3 stitches, yarning over, pulling through all of those 3 stitches, and then we will chain 2, 1, 2. Do not chain through that first loop that's on the hook, okay? So we've gathered 3 together and then chain 2 to make this nice little like broom, okay? So again, Tunisian 1, 2, 3, Tunisian simple stitch 3 of them together by yarning over and pulling through all the loops, all the vertical loops. Then we're gonna chain 1, chain 2. I'm holding the rest of these loops back with my thumb so that I don't accidentally pull through them. So again, I'm gonna push all those already made hooks, loops on the back and behind my thumb, insert Tunisian simple stitch Ys, the 3 vertical bars, the next 3 vertical bars, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then keeping these loops back there, just chaining 1, 2, as if those loops don't exist. Now we will add that to the group that I'm holding back and make the next stitch. So we want 1 remaining loop on the hook each time. Okay, so I know there's big gaps. We'll fill them in with the return pass. So 1 more of those groups to make the upside down broom, and then chain 1, chain 2. Okay, then 1 Tunisian simple stitch in that last stitch, gathering up 2 of those side strands and chain 1, 2. Okay, so 5, 6, only 6 stitches on the hook. That's okay. That's the way it's supposed to be. We're going to add some more right now with our return pass. So we have decreased And now we're going to increase again. So our return pass is going to be yarn over and pull through 1, which I know since we just chain 2, it's actually a chain 3, but just bear with me. And then yarn over and pull through 2 loops on the hook. And now we're going to chain 2. So holding all the rest of the loops back, I'm just going to chain 1, 2. Now I'm going to yarn over and pull through 2, the one on the hook, the one on the hook, and then the next one, and then chain 2, 1, 2. Okay, so let's look at that again. So we're going to yarn over and pull through this one and this one. So yarn over, pull through that one and that one. Chain 2. Now we have 3 loops left on the hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through 2, chain just 1, yarn over and pull through 2 loops on the hook to finish the row. Woo, Lacy already. Okay, now the cool thing, the really cool thing about this project is you don't have to then pull up stitches in each of these chains, because I find that a little bit cumbersome. Instead, we're working in these vertical bars. Let's find an indicator for you. We're working in these vertical bars here, 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 and then the ends. Okay, so we don't have to work in the individual chains, and that makes me happy. It's one of the reasons why I really like this project. It is a very project that makes me feel like crochet is a relaxing and valuable use of our time. Okay, so now the next row, we're going to chain 1, 2, and we're going to place 3 Tunisian double crochets in that vertical bar. So yarn over, insert as if to Tunisian simple stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on the hook. That's a Tunisian double crochet. I'm going to leave it there and do it 2 more times in the same space. Yarn over, insert the hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through just 2 loops on the hook. Okay, we're increasing now. Yarn over to as if, insert the hook as if to Tunisian simple stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through just 2 loops on the hook. All the other loops remain. So now we have put 3 Tunisian double crochets in that vertical bar, and we're going to do the same thing with each of the vertical bars across. So we are adding back all the stitches that we took away in the previous row. So this is a 2-row repeat. I know how much you guys love Lacy Tunisian stitches, so I am so thrilled to have found this stitch and adapted it just a little bit so that we can enjoy it and really have a Lacy good time with it. I think it would make an amazing shawl or wedding project. The raspberry one that I am working on is going to be just a Lacy scarf. Okay, so here's where we are so far. And then with this last one, we will yarn over in Tunisian double crochet just in the last 2 bars of that last stitch. Yarn over and pull through 2. Okay, we should then have 14 stitches back on our hook. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Excellent. We are right on target. So I think this makes a really lovely lacy pattern. It almost looks very knit, which I know a lot of you like. So I'm going to yarn over and pull through 1, yarn over and pull through 2. And this is how I would probably bind off this project. Would be just a yarn over and pull through 2, like a typical return pass, just like this, and then simply end with the last pull through. It's very possible to just finish here or to then add in the Tunisian simple all the way across to mimic or be symmetrical with the bottom. But if we're going to keep going, we're going to continue to alternate those 2 rows. So we would start with a chain 2, and then we would Tunisian simple stitch 3 together. There's no yarn over on my hook. Tunisian simple stitch 3 together, and then holding the first one back, I'm just going to chain 2. 1, 2. Now add this one to my held back stitches and pull up a loop in the next 3 together, and then chain 2. 1, 2. and then add that to my held back. Okay, so as if to Tunisian simple stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, and then chain 1, 2, and move that one back. Do you see what I'm saying about holding it back? I'm just pushing it behind my thumb so that I don't accidentally pull through any of those loops. And then for this last one, we are going to just get myself some more yarn here. Tunisian simple stitch in the final 2 strands of the last stitch, pull up a loop and chain 1, 2. Okay, now this is the row that has the fancy return pass. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're right on target. This is the one that has the fancy, get you a nice close up there. And then let you see some light through it. Okay, this is the fancy return pass row. And then we will do another double crochet row. So we're gonna yarn over, pull through 1. And it already, after the 2, we've already yarned through and pulled through. Then we're gonna yarn over and pull through 2 loops on the hook and chain 2. Yarn over and pull through 2 loops on the hook and chain 2. Yarn over and pull through 2 loops on the hook and chain 2. Yarn over and pull through 2 loops on the hook, chain just 1, yarn over and pull through 2 to end that row. Okay, and now we're back to the double crochet row. So we're going to chain 2 and place 3 Tunisian double crochets in the vertical bar of each of the next stitches. So all the way across. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then nothing special for this space. We're just going right to the next one. We're making little shells or fans or groups or tripods or brooms or something. All right, so we're going to do this all the way across. And another one, another group of 3. Tunisian double crochets in each of the stitches as if to Tunisian simple stitch in terms of like where the hook is placed. And then in the final stitch, we're just going to Tunisian double crochet 1 time. Okay, again, we should have 14 or whatever chain you started on, the chain number of chains you started with. That's the number of loops you should have on your hook when you've made the double crochet row. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. We are right on target. Now let's go ahead and yarn over and pull through 1. Remember, we don't want to add a lot of chains to this row, this return row, because there's a whole bunch on there already. We don't need to add any extra. And then if I were to bind off when I'm ready to bind off, which I think I'm not going to bind off the raspberry one until I am done with the whole ball and just see how long it is, then we could just mimic the bottom and do a symmetrical thing and just do Tunisian simple stitch and bind off, Tunisian simple stitch and pull through. So we're going to bind off the stitches as if to Tunisian simple stitch. Whenever I say as if in Tunisian crochet, it means how I'm inserting the hook into the stitch, as if to Tunisian simple stitch, but I'm binding off with a slip stitch. Slip stitching, just what you would do in normal traditional crochet, slip stitching by inserting the hook, pulling up a loop and pulling through all the loops on the hook. That is what we're doing here, only I'm inserting the hook as if to Tunisian simple stitch. That's how I'm inserting the hook. And then in the final stitch, make sure you finish it off. And then we would cut the yarn and pull the tail through. So check out my other Tunisian Lacy videos and my most popular one, Tunisian yarn over lace. And I will see you on the next video. I'm going to go back to working on my new favorite project. I'll see you next time. Bye.